Somewhere on your to-do list, probably near the bottom, where it has lived for a year, is a line that says write a proper refund policy. And every time a customer asks, can I return this or I want my money back, you make it up on the spot. Sometimes you are generous because you feel bad. Sometimes you are firm because you have been burned before. Your staff give different answers than you do and different answers than each other, and because nothing is written down, every awkward case turns into a small argument and you are the one who has to settle it. It is not that you do not know your own rules. It is that they live in your head, they bend with your mood, and nobody else can see them. Today, I want to fix that using an AI assistant to turn the rules you already carry around into a clear, fair policy you can actually put on your website. It drafts, you decide. The policy you keep meaning to write. Let us name where most owners get stuck and call it level 0. You do not have no policy. You have an invisible one. It is the set of rules you apply case by case, generous on a Tuesday, strict after a bad week, different again when your assistant is the one at the counter. The problem is not that you are unfair, it is that nobody can read your mind, so customers do not know where they stand, and neither does your team. And writing it down feels like a job for a lawyer, or at least a quiet afternoon you never seem to get, so it stays undone. Meanwhile, every returns question costs you a small decision and a little friction. That is level 0, a real policy that only exists in your head, redecided from scratch every single time somebody asks. Once maintained to improvises actually does. Before we open any tool, get clear on what a returns policy is actually for, because it is not a wall to keep customers out. A good one does 3 quiet jobs. First, it tells a customer exactly what to expect before they buy, which removes fear and actually helps them say yes. Second, it lets your staff answer a returns question the same way you would without checking with you, which gives you your afternoons back. And third, it protects you from the small number of people who would take advantage by drawing a clear line everyone can see. So it is not about being harsh or being soft. It is about being consistent and readable. Name those 3 jobs: clarity for the buyer, a script for your staff, a line against abuse, and you know exactly what to brief an assistant to write. Give it your real situation. Here is the first move, and it is simpler than it sounds. You do not ask the AI for a generic refund policy off the internet, because that is how you end up promising 30-day returns on a custom cake. Instead, you give it your actual situation. Tell it what you sell and whether it is physical goods, a service, or something made to order. Tell it the rules you already use in your head: 30 days with a receipt, no returns on sale items, deposits are non-refundable once work has started. Tell it the cases that keep going wrong: the change of mind returns, the it arrived damage claims, the I lost the receipt regulars, your product, your existing rules, your painful edge cases. Hand it those 3 things and it has everything it needs to write a policy that sounds like you, not like a template designed for a shop that sells something else entirely. Brief it like a fair-minded manager. Now the shift that makes this work. You do not say, write me a refund policy and take the first thing back. You brief it the way you would brief a fair-minded manager who has to keep both the customer and the business in mind. It sounds like this: here is what I sell, and here are the rules I actually use. Write me a returns and refund policy in plain, friendly English a normal customer can understand, no legal jargon. Cover change of mind, faulty items, and made to order work separately, because they are not the same. Keep the tone reasonable, not defensive, and flag anything where I might be legally required to offer more than I have said. That brief is the whole secret. You are asking for something clear and human, and asking it to warn you where your gut rules might not be enough on their own. The jobs to ask for. Let me give you the specific jobs to ask for every time, because together they turn a vague intention into a finished, usable page. 1. Write it in plain, friendly language, so a customer reads it and relaxes rather than reaching for a lawyer. 2. Break it into the situations that actually come up: change of mind, faulty goods, custom orders, late returns, so nobody has to guess which rule applies. 3. Add a short how to return it section, the steps, the time frame, who to contact, because a policy nobody can follow is just decoration. 4. Give you a shorter counter version your staff can say out loud, not just the website version. And 5. Flag where you may owe more by law than your own rule allows, so you can check it before you publish. Plain language, real situations, clear steps, a spoken version, legal flags. Ask for those 5 and you get the page you can ship. One policy start to finish. Let me make it concrete with a made-up example. Picture an owner we will call Priya who runs a small furniture shop and sells both off-the-shelf pieces and made-to-order sofas. For years, her returns rule has been whatever felt fair that day, which meant her weekend staff kept phoning her at home. She gives her AI assistant the full picture, standard items returnable in 14 days unused, custom orders non-refundable once fabric is cut, delivery damage replaced free. She asked for a friendly policy with those 3 cases separated, plus a short script for staff. It drafts a clean page and it flags one thing, that refusing all returns on faulty goods may not be allowed, so she should check her obligations. She adjusts one line, publishes it on her site, and pins the staff version by the till. The weekend call stuck. That is level 1. Level 0 versus level 1. Now let me name the real difference this makes, because it is not about paperwork. It is about turning a running argument into a settled question. Level 0 is deciding every case live, from memory and mood, so customers do not know the rules, staff make up their own, and you get pulled into every dispute because you are the only source of truth. Level 1 is a written policy that took you 20 minutes to draft, that says the same thing on a Tuesday and after a bad week, that your staff can quote without calling you, and that a nervous first-time buyer can read before they commit. Your job shrinks from redeciding the same handful of situations forever to reviewing one document once, and updating it when something genuinely new comes up. Same rules you already had, finally out of your head and onto the page where they can do their work. Your judgment stays in charge. This next part is not optional, so I want to be direct. An AI assistant is very good at wording, structure, and tone, but it is not a lawyer, and it does not know the specific consumer rules that apply where you trade. It can flag that an area is legally sensitive, and it should, but flagging is not advice. So for anything that touches your legal obligations, faulty goods, cooling off periods, deposits, use the draft to get organized, then have the final version checked by someone qualified if the stakes are real. They will also happily invent a confident-sounding rule if you let it. So every line in the policy should be a rule you actually recognize and agree with, not one it added to sound complete. The AI writes the policy clearly. You own what the policy actually promises, and you are the one who has to stand behind it. Solve any generalness behind it. Take the single returns question that comes up most often, the change of mind refund, or the lost receipt, or the custom order someone wants to cancel. Tell your AI assistant exactly how you handle it today and why, and ask it to write just that one section in plain, friendly language with the steps a customer would follow. Read it back. If it sounds like you, keep it. If it does not, tell it what is off and let it try again. That is the whole experiment, one situation, written down properly for the first time. Once you see how good one clear paragraph feels, the rest of the policy stops looking like a chore and starts looking like an afternoon well spent. The honest watchouts, and because I promised no hype, here are the honest watchouts, and please take them seriously. First, it is not legal advice, so treat anything about your obligations as a draft to check, not a ruling to trust. Second, it only knows what you tell it, so a policy built on half your rules will have confident gaps, which means you must give it the real edge cases, not just the easy ones. Third, read every line before you publish, because a policy is a promise, and you do not want to discover a clause you never meant to offer when a customer holds you to it. And fourth, keep it human. Resist the urge to let it grow into 10 paragraphs of defensive fine print, because the whole point was to make customers feel safe, not to bury them. Use it to get your rules written and readable. Keep the judgment and the legal sign-off in their proper places. Quick recap. Let me put it together. Level 0 is an invisible policy that lives in your head, applied differently depending on the day, the mood, and who is at the counter, so customers are unsure, staff improvise, and every dispute lands on you. Level 1 is handing an AI assistant your product, your real rules, and your painful edge cases, and briefing it to write a plain, friendly policy that separates change of mind from faulty goods from custom orders, gives you a spoken version for staff, and flags where the law might ask for more. Then you check the legal parts, keep only the rules you actually stand behind, and publish. The 5 asks are plain language, real situations, clear steps, a spoken version, and legal flags. What you get is the page you have meant to write for a year, done properly in an afternoon. If you have ever settled the same returns argument for the 10th time because nothing was ever written down, this is the workflow that gets the rules out of your head and onto a page everyone can read without turning into a legal project. And we made a free step-by-step course that walks you from level 0 to level 1 in plain language, no jargon, and no technical background needed. It shows you how to get an AI assistant onto your own computer, working with your own documents and your real business, so you can build policies and drafts on your actual work instead of taking my word for it. Head to aifirstdecision.com/level1 and take the free course. Do it once with the returns question you are tired of answering and watch how good one clear paragraph feels. And if you want more of these practical AI workflows built for SME owners, honest and no hype, then subscribe. Level 1 is right there. Go take the step.